Hey guys, ready to learn some C++? This video will be about flow control in C++. In other words, the if statement, if else, if else if, and else. So let's get started. Basically, we need the if statement so we can control the flow of our program, so we can make choices and determine which way to go, this way, or that other way. That'll all be determined when you use an if statement. So let's start with our basic program here, and I just have a cout saying hello world in a new line, return 0 here, and I'm going to put an if statement here. So the way the if statement works is you give a condition, like a boolean, has to result in a boolean, either true or false. And for the if statement, you have a block of statements within braces. So these statements will be executed if the condition within the if parentheses is true. For example, if 2 is equal to 2, do something. For example, let's say 2 is equal to 2. This here is a comparison operator. It compares the value of this operand with the other operand. So is number integer 2 equal to integer 2? Well, that's a true expression, so that will become true there. So the if statement would execute whatever's within the braces because the condition is true. That's the way it happens. If you run the program, let's take a look. So I got my program here. I'm going to compile using the command line G++. That's the executable, and the source file is that. Now I'm going to execute my program. You see what happened here? I executed my program. It said hello world followed by a new line, and it said 2 is equal to 2. And this is this statement right here. So why did that work? Because this condition within the parentheses of the if statement here is true. Therefore, all the statements within the if block are executed. We could also put another message, as many statements as you want, and that would also be displayed. Let's compile again, execute the program. Now we have grade here, an additional statement that prints grade and breaks the line. Okay, you can put any condition as long as the result is a boolean value, true or false. And the if statement, for the code within the if block to be executed, the condition needs to be true. But what if the condition is false? So what do? Like, what if we put 2 equals to 3? That's obviously not true, so that would be substituted with false when the program runs. So what would happen in this case? Well, this condition is false, therefore the statements within the if block will not be executed. So nothing is going to happen beyond this point here. So this is not going to do anything. If you try it out, recompile, execute, it just says hello world, nothing else. But what if you really want to do something? In case that is false, that's when the else statement comes in. So if the condition is false, whatever is within the else block will be executed. If you have an if statement and the condition is false, then whatever is in the else block here, the statements here will be executed. For example, we can display a message. The condition is false. Oh no. Let me try it out. Recompile. Run. So hello world followed by condition is false. Oh no. Because 2 is not equal to 3. So this condition is false. Therefore, the statements within the else block are executed. Okay, so that's how if-else works. If this, otherwise do that. If true, do these statements. Else, do those statements. Okay? Now let's do something more. Let's add an else if statement. So this is the new stuff here. So basically, before we had if, else. It's either this or that. Either do the statements within the if block or do the statements within the else block. But what if you want to check for multiple conditions? Not only this condition here, but an extra condition. You could use the else if after the first if. The first if is always just if, and everything that follows has to be else if. Okay? For example, if some condition is false, then if you didn't have this, it would call on the else block statements, right? But what if we want to check again and check for some other condition? Okay, if this condition is false, then what we're going to do is to check for some other condition within the else if parenthesis. And if that condition is true, you're going to execute all the statements within the else if block, and then that's it. The else block will not be executed at all. To illustrate that, let's do something like we had before. In this case, I'll do another thing. So this is greater than operator. So is 2 greater than 4? Obviously, this will be false. Okay. So this statement here actually won't be executed. Instead, it's going to go to the else if, and it's going to check for some other condition. Let's put some condition here. Let's say 3 greater than, let's put less than 5 or 6. 3 less than 6, that's going to be true, right? So it's going to do something here. Okay, so the way it's going to work, it's going to first, it reaches this if statement, checks the condition. Is 2 greater than 4? That's false. It's going to go to the next else if here. It's going to check the condition. Is 3 less than 6? That is true. Therefore, it's going to execute the statements within the else if block and nothing else. Okay, that's only this, and that's it for this if construct. Let's just put a message here. Just this is else. Just so you know what's gonna happen, we expect this part to be executed. Recompile, execute. As you see, hello world says 3 less than 6. Only the statements within the else if here were executed, nothing else. Okay? Now suppose this condition here is false. Put there 3 less than 1. That's obviously false. So this is going to be false. Then it's going to check it's going to go to the else. If every condition is false, it's going to do the else statement blocks. The else statement, it's going to do whatever statements there are in the else block, okay? Now I put this, so this is false, so expect the behavior to execute the statements within the else. Recompile, execute. says this is else. Exactly what we predicted. Okay, so you could have multiple else ifs. You don't necessarily have to have just one. So you can check as many conditions as you want. I don't know, put like 4 greater than 4 equal to 4. Yay, 4. I'm gonna say that if that is true. Let's keep this as it is. So let's go through it again. Let's just change these things. So we can go through it one more time and practice. So let's see. We say hello world. We hit this if construct. We're gonna start by checking the condition within the parentheses. Is this condition true? Is 66 equal to 43? That's false. So this is going to skip to the else if and check the condition in this else if. Is 56 greater than 602? That's false. So it's going to skip these statements and go to the next else if and check the condition, and keeps doing that as long as many else ifs as you have. So is 4 equals to 4? That's true. Now the statements within this else if construct will be executed. So yay 4 is going to be displayed, and that's it for this whole if construct. This else here will not be executed because this else if was true. So these get executed. Straight out, compile. Yay 4 is displayed right after hello world, as expected. Okay. So this is pretty much the whole idea for the if statement. And this statement is very useful not only for C++, but for pretty much all the other programming languages. So it's as crucial that you know how it works. Now let's try some kind of exercise. Suppose I want to check say if you're checking if a number is between 1 and 100, if the number is less than 1, say too little. If the number is greater than 100, say too much. How would you do that? Using if statement or possibly adding else or else if. So let's make a variable n. Okay, I put number. How about that? Let's for now just assign some value to the number. It says 4 for now. We can change that later. And now if number is less than 1, what are we going to do? We're gonna say too little. Now that's the first. Now what if it's greater than? Else if number is greater than 100, let's say too much. Okay, but if the number is not less than 1 and the number is not greater than 100, then obviously it has to be within 1 and 100. So we can just do else here, because you don't need to check what kind of condition you have, because you already know if it's not less than 1, and if it's not greater than 100, then it has to be in between, which is what we're looking for. And you're gonna say that the number is within 1 and 100. Okay, let's try it out. Compile. So we had number sign value 4, right? So if number less than 1 is 4, less than 1, false. Is 4 greater than 100? False. So it's between 1 and 100. So whatever is in the else statement gets executed, and says that's it. The number is within 100. Yay. Okay. Now if the number is, let's say, 0, what do we expect? If number less than 1, 0 less than 1, true. So this gets executed and nothing else. So it's gonna say too little. Compile, execute, too little right after hello world. If number is 101, what do you expect? That's it. It's gonna say too much, because the first check here is going to be false, but it's going to check the else if condition, which is 101 greater than 100, true. Therefore, it's going to say too much and nothing else. Too much. Okay. So it could be anything. Let's put that number, huge number. Too much, right? Recompile, execute. Too much. Yay. Put something negative. Negative something. Big number. Too little, right? Too little. Put something between 42. That's it. The number is within 100. Because this condition is false. This condition is false. All it has to do is just do whatever is in the else statement. Because everything we checked before is false. So it has no choice but to do whatever's in the else statement. Now let's try 1. Is 1 greater than less than 1? That's false. 1 greater than 100? False. So it's going to execute. That's it. The number within 100. Yeah. Good. What about 100? 100 less than 1? False. 100 greater than 100? False. It's going to execute. That's it. The number's within 100. Yay. So watch out which operator, comparison operator you choose here. In this case, the behavior is correct because I chose less than and greater than here. Sometimes you could have greater than, like less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Now in this case, the behavior would change, right? You have to change this to what? To 0 and 101, right? If it's greater than or equal. So let's try it out. 1 less than or equal to 0, false. Greater than or equal to 101, false. So it's between, within 100. Now if you had 0, it would be 0 less than or equal to 0. That's true, so it's just say too little. If you have 101, would 101 less than or equal to 0, false. 101 less than or greater than or equal to 101, yes, because it's equal. So it's true, it's going to say too much. But if it's 100, this case, this would be false, and that would be within. So watch out for which operator you're using. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe. If you have any requests, please comment, leave a comment, and thank you for watching.